Okay, so it's Sykikal and Shadow back with more Silent Hill 2. Alright, so I just saved Jack's Inn. Hey, that's kind of cool. They have a little red pad on the map, so I can go back to that save point later if I want. So I wonder if I can go down to Cat Street from here. I mean, the road seems to indicate that I should be able to, but the road also indicated that I could go down Heaven's Night into Carroll Street, and maybe there is a way to do it that I overlooked, but it looked to me as if the road was blocked by a fence, so I don't see how I could have done that. So I'm saying I think I can get there from here, but the map can sometimes be misleading, so I don't know that for certain.
Have you been to the Texon gas station yet?
Let me see. Gas. I don't think I have actually. Like I went to Heaven's Night, but I think I kind of overlooked the gas station.
I think there should be a steel pipe there.
Do I want a steel pipe? Is that better than my current weapon? I mean, because I think I have a knife and this wooden plank, so I don't know if a steel pipe would be better than that.
What are you carrying right now?
Wooden plank.
Oh, well, yeah. I think a steel pipe would be better than wood,
Yeah, I suppose that would make sense.
in my opinion.
Stairs I can go up. Huh. Well, it looks like this leads to a dead end. And this girl's blocking my path.
You can always hit her.
Risk her failing the mission for me? I don't think so. I mean, if you can even call it a mission, I don't even know. I guess his mission is to find his
Fail the game.
deceased wife. Yeah, that's probably a better way to phrase it.
So what do you think is going on with the town?
Ooh, first aid kit. What do I think's going on with the protagonist?
Like, why do you think the town is all foggy and with monsters and everything?
Oh, you just want me to speculate? I don't know. I guess zombie apocalypse is the first thing I think of, but that's too cliche. I don't think that's it.
I mean, if you look at the monsters, like the Red Pyramid thing, and it was obviously raping other monsters, and then
Yeah.
those like mannequins that only have like legs.
I don't really have a good theory right now. I mean, I can take wild guesses. It could be that the protagonist is just insane. That would be a really, really lame ending. It could be the generic, there's some evil force here, and then the evil force is, I guess, converts people into monsters. And then...
That would be a pretty cool theory. We just converted all the townspeople into monsters.
Yeah. Maybe it could be a scientific experiment gone awry, like they... Or maybe the fog is like a poison gas, and the fog poisons people and turns them into monsters, and there was a scientific experiment or something. And then I guess I'd have to come up with a reason for why not everyone was turned into a monster. Maybe
they have some kind of immunity.
I guess I mean that much is obvious, but it's what coming up with why they would have an immunity.
Just some people sometimes have an immunity to things.
And I'd like to come up with a better reason than that, but I guess I'll leave it at that for now.
I don't think you'd
So,
actually find this out unless you completed the first game, because I don't think it mentions it in any of the other games, and it's a lot more noticeable in the first game. While you're running around.
do you mean they don't explain why, the main story of why they turn into monsters and why you're in this deserted town in the other subsequent games? It's only in the first game.
It kind of explains it, but the first game really explains the why of pretty much every future game, because every future game is going to have a different protagonist. That's just how the series goes.
Okay.
And the first one, when you're running around in the fog, you see all these almost like it's snowing, and then as soon as it hits the ground, it fades away. I think most people would just chalk that up to hardware limitations. You can't have a bunch of snow or whatever it is on the ground all the time. But it's actually ash.
Oh, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. There's technically two different explanations for the town as far as the games go, and then if you watch the movies.
So, when you say that there's two different explanations, does that mean that the writers leave it ambiguous so you can
No,
fans have
the
different theories?
The games are just really that complex unless you pay attention specifically and you really think about it, that the developers of the movies just didn't get it right, and they just kind of thought that they left it vague on purpose and that it was up to their own interpretation, so they kind of went with it and ran, and that's not actually correct. They just really didn't understand it.
I mean, you would think that the game developers and the movie developers would kind of be working together, so it's not like, what do you think the story is, Jim? Well, I think it's kind of like this. I mean, I read it like that on Wikipedia, so I guess it must be true. You'd think they'd be working together somehow, but okay.
Well, the team members that were making Silent Hill, the original team was called Team Silent, and a lot of them left after the first game, and then even more so after the second game, and I think at this point, as far as I know, there's no original team members left. So a lot of people have been making Silent Hill games, and some of them don't get it right, unfortunately. It makes things muddy and confusing. Like in I don't think you've seen any of the movies.
Nope, I haven't. Oh, I got a steel pipe. Okay. So let's see. I think I checked around the Blue Creek apartments. I didn't see anything noteworthy there. Rosewater Park, that's the area that I first came out of after I fought the red monster. Jack's saying that's the save point. Let's see. I just went to Nathan Avenue, or that's the first place I looked, was Nathan Avenue. I may have missed something over on the boat launch in Silent Hill Historical Society area. I don't think I checked into that in too much detail. So I guess I'm gonna look back just to see if there's any way I can get to Carroll Street, because, I mean, they put it on the map. I would think that there has to be some way to get there. And then if I can't find it, I'm gonna go back to Nathan and then try to investigate that in more detail.
Maybe you should watch one of the movies.
Perhaps. So, how many movies are there?
2.
And so is it based on Silent Hill 1 and 2?
It's the first one's based on Silent Hill 1 and 2. I mean, technically it's not supposed to be, but they kind of mixed elements that they weren't supposed to, so it kind of ended up that way. And then the second one is pretty much like the third one,
Oh, okay.
like the third game. So, and then the first one, you know how you were playing as a guy, Harry Mason, in the first one looking for his daughter, right?
Yeah.
The developer or producer of the movie said that Harry Mason acts more like a mother. So he made the main character in the movie a female. So.
What? That's pretty... Well, I
Yep.
guess that's a creative license for you. I mean, I guess at least he's... At least
Well,
then he's not saying it's canon to the game. At least he's kind of creating his own story to it. I mean, like, if he says it's canon to the game and then he messes it up, that's kind of bad. But at least if he changes it that radically, he can say, okay, it doesn't have... We're just loosely based on the game, but basically we're making our own story.
I just saw that. I never noticed that before. They just kind of launched themselves in the air. Oh.
Woohoo, I noticed something before you did. That's probably the first... Because I mentioned that in the previous video, so...
They just like launched themselves over the bushes. That's hilarious.
Boat launch. Boats to Lakeside Amusement Park and Lakeview Hotel. Okay, so this is the hotel. I got a first aid kit. Okay, that's nice. I got these bars in the
As far as
wall.
I know, there might be a corpse around there with a map or something you should look at.
Well,
I think it's around there.
I already have a map to the area, but okay. Gonna look for a corpse with a map to... I guess it's like to a different area, I don't know. Maybe the map has some sort of indicators, like such as where the key is. So it said this was locked. So this is the historical society that it showed me on the map. Yeah. And then the boat launch is on the other side and it's behind a fence.
Did you try to go all the way towards Carroll Street?
Yeah, that's what I did before, but you see there was the red line there, so that indicates that's blocked off. And I went to the alleyway, and that is where the other locked door was that I don't have a key for.
I think the corpse might be just south of the gas station, so probably near the blocked off area. But basically, it's just supposed to put like a, it's supposed to just basically tell you to go to the Bolorama. I don't know if you can get in there without the map or not. Or not the map, but at least triggering the event.
Oh yeah, 'cause I remember when I was in the apartment, there was like a weird, I had to go into a hallway, and then that triggered an event to create a monster in a room, and I had to do that in order to proceed. So yeah, even though I might have the knowledge of where to go, I might actually need to trigger the event before I can actually go there. So yeah, I guess knowing this game, I don't want to take any chances. I better just go there first.
You gotta do things in proper order.
I bet speedrunners don't like that.
I don't think anyone speedruns this game.
Didn't you mention you were planning on maybe doing that?
Speedrunning Silent Hill? I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe. I don't think the first one is as confusing and huge as the second one.